welcome to the Creative Insights. I'm your host, Murat Güvenç from Accuras Inc. Every week, we bring industry practitioners, technology evangelists, for a quick chat on hot industry trends. Our guest today is Shikhar Kwatra, Master Inventor and AI ML Solution Architect. Shikhar, thanks for being our guest today. Before joining AWS, you were part of the IBM Expert Lab group, and you are honored to be one of the youngest Master Inventor. So what is a Master Inventor? How does one earn a title like that?
First of all, thank you. Thank you so much, Murat, for having me here. It's genuinely a pleasure. So talking about IBM Master Inventor, so that accolade is given to someone who is a subject matter expert and who has a lot of patents in a particular domain. It can be AI, IoT, or maybe a combination of blockchain, quantum, etc. And someone who is also a technical evangelist and at the same time trying to spread the word in the community about inventing, brainstorming, mentoring other people who are onboarding as well. So trying to create like a niche community of people who are active into patenting, brainstorming, creating a name for themselves, and trying to make a difference. So my goal has been to inspire every engineer to think from an inventive mindset and feel like it's a conducive environment. You can share your ideas. Nothing comes off as a stupid idea as long as you're willing to share it out. So yeah, that's the goal of IBM Master Inventor, I would say.
Very good. It's amazing. And you have over 400 patents under your belt. Last time we talked, it was 250. So how do you achieve a work-life balance and yet manage such great accomplishments? It's just really 400 patents is a lot. How do you do that?
I'm very humble. You're too kind. So I joke with my friends, I don't have a life. But ideally, what I like to do is, when you're working in a group of environment where you have such amazing folks like who are always ready to brainstorm and think of new ideas, you kind of start loving your job. It doesn't remain your job anymore, right? So as the saying goes, right, when you kind of love your work, then you don't feel like you need to have kind of that work-life balance, because then it becomes your hobby. So for me, inventing really became a hobby. And as a hobbyist, I would even be thinking of new ideas over the weekend, talking to people around me in the community within IBM to think and brainstorm over new ideas, and working with other people with the same technical acumen. We would always come up with like new technologies and the way we would kind of integrate different technologies together. And as a builder, you would love to, we all love to like integrate different things, work on new ideas, try to change different things bit by bit, and try to improve upon what's existing. So that dopamine that we get from thinking about something that doesn't exist yet, that's the silver lining for us. And as you network, as you grow, as this community grows into 100, 200, 300, then you have your different networking groups with whom you are continuously building multiple ideas and multiple products and multiple POCs in parallel. When that happens, then your inventions also grow manifold. I would say one disclaimer over here: you do not need to be a genius to have a lot of inventions, a lot of patents. You just need to have curiosity and willingness to learn. Read the book Grit. It's a good one.
That's great. But again, congratulations for the achievement. So I have a quote from Forrester, which I believe you will agree, suggesting creating a machine learning model is just a starting point. To bring the technology into production service, you need to solve various real-world issues, such as building a data pipeline, validation of the model, creating a scalable serving infrastructure. So I know MLOps is a very hot topic for you. What is MLOps? Why operationalizing AI is important, and what real-world problems does it solve?
That's a good question. So think of MLOps as MLOps for machine learning engineers is what DevOps is for software developers, for software engineers. So I would like to give an analogy here. So think of machine learning models as engine of a car. You have the engine of a car. Now, in order for the complete car to operate, be in the market out there, and then start operation and being operational, you need the steering wheel, the pedal, the gear, the bumper, the other wireframe that builds the entire car. In a similar way, when I say ML is just the starting point or that's the engine of a car, all the other components that build the car are the way we are conceptualizing those models and productionizing those models. The way that MLOps seems daunting at this point is a lot of people like machine learning engineers. I used to build a lot of machine learning models back in the day. And as a data scientist, a lot of people are adept in building those models, but have limited understanding of how to actually scale it for an enterprise on an enterprise grade level and how to eventually deploy it into production. So when you think of serving hundreds of millions of requests that are coming into your model, handling real-time traffic, bringing actionable insights into the model, and eventually working in a cross-collaborative matrix of people from data scientists, data engineers, and having this seamless workflow of CI/CD pipeline, like continuous integration and continuous deployment, similar to how you have in software development lifecycle. So that end-to-end process is what we mean when we talk about operationalization of machine learning models, all the way from data governance to ingestion of data, to model development, to productionization of models with continuous performance metrics. And this entire pipeline becomes our MLOps framework.
Okay, perfect. Shikhar, you have many years of experience in the field, and also you are one of the hands-on practitioners who use different technologies. So how does one get started at MLOps? What guidance would you give to companies or individuals that who wants to get started on this journey?
I would say if you want to get started, number one is going from why, then what, and why, then how, and then what, right? So why you would want to dive into ML ops, right? Because let's say you want to solve a particular problem for the client, or you want to work on a project and eventually productionize it. So there can be a lot of reasons why you would want to get started. For someone who figures out this reason, the next thing would be to work on different machine learning problems. Maybe you are coming from a non-data science background or a non-AI ML background. Try to do some courses. There are a lot of courses online on Udemy, on Coursera. Again, you name it, right? There are so many platforms. The second thing you would want to do is like pick up some data sets on Kaggle and try to practice building those machine learning models in development environment. Then learn about Dockers, containers, or even think about using open source tools like Heroku, or maybe using SageMaker. Because when you want to get a visualization of end-to-end model development and productionization, you need to understand this entire lifecycle, the way a software development lifecycle works. So for that, try to look at SageMaker, which can help you in building, training, and even deploying those models. Take a look at Heroku that I mentioned, which is an open source deployment tool that can help you in packaging your model, deploying it, and then test it against your blind data. Once you have identified that, then you can start thinking of, bringing in other people in the environment with whom you can collaborate, set up a GitHub repository, and then start scaling it forward. There are a lot of tutorials. I'll be more than happy to share those if you would like. But I think that would be a starting point for anyone to get started.
Very good. Again, thanks, Shikhar, for your time and for valuable insight. I really appreciate it. So I look forward to talking to you in the other episodes as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Take care.